So this is a meeting. Hello, everybody. This is a meeting about non-duality. Non-duality means it's only meaning not two. And that's what we normally are used to, that everything is two, like right and wrong, and good and bad, before and after. So there's living in time, and that's two, like before and after, and here and then it's also living in time and distance, so distance. And so there's here and over there. So those two are also in the story, and with two, they're making a whole story about there can be something happening before and there are consequences, and it's because of somebody over there is saying something to me, and that gives me a feeling, and that feeling is because of you, and all that. So that's the normal way of how things are going, or what we believe. That's the only way what is happening. And then there's this talking message, not even a message, saying now time and distance are constructs, because we can abstract. We can believe that there's time and take it serious, like there's some before and some after. And there's distance, there's seeing here, over there, behind, before. And when there's no time and no distance, when that's not there, it's suddenly it's one. There's no one. Of course, there's belief that there's someone inside. So there's someone inside, and there's a world or other people outside. Also, there's someone inside. So when that belief is more embodied, it seems like, oh, there's a need to live in this world, to survive and behave in a certain way so I get what I want, because there's a feeling of loss can be there, feeling of this is not enough, I'm not good enough, there's something went wrong. So there can be a drive to make it right, and it can be in all kinds of way. In behavior, it's the behavior that gives a feeling of, then maybe in the end I will get the love that I need. It's a lot of need and taking care of. And then there's also, oh, it stopped. Suddenly I don't know what to say anymore. It's just what is going on here is there's just talking. There's not knowing anything. It's not being sure about what's going on. It's not being sure that there's no one. It's the other way around. And that's strange, because when there's talking and people are talking before groups and all that, we assume that there's a knowing of being sure about what's going on. Here in this meeting, it's just talking. It doesn't go anywhere. You don't need to listen. It doesn't give you anything. Sometimes it can make things clear, but what is that? A clarity about what's going on can be there. But there's still me, and that me is that construct that feels like there's something wrong. It's not yet there. There's always something missing, or not enough, or dissatisfied maybe. So they can be trying to come in this or they can be coming in these meetings and trying to understand or to be clear about what's being said. And it seems like that's really important, maybe. Because I don't know. People can think like, I don't know, and maybe she knows. I don't. I don't know. It's just talking. We so believe in all the words where what's going on. We can understand what's being said. There's a content, and that seems important or not important. And then hearing the content is only thoughts, only sound. There's no meaning. There's no purpose in this meeting. It doesn't go anywhere. That's strange, because that's we're not used to. We always want something else, something more, something better, something like that. That's me. That's assuming that there's not enough. This is not enough. And what's being said here is, this is it. This, what can happen, this, it's a word for a hand or a feeling maybe, or wall. That's everything. That's it. That's this. So it's that simple. It's that simple without any meaning or any importance at all. Life isn't about importance. And in the story, it seems like there's a lot of things, this right and this wrong, and it should be that and all that. It's completely when all beliefs and concepts are lost. It's only this, it's that, it's sitting, it's a hand, it's a sensation somewhere. It's not even in the body because nothing is real. That's also when there's two and I'm here and this is my life going on. Everything seems so solid and real and important. Nothing is real. It's an appearance of streets and bodies and feelings. Even the body is an appearance. So nothing is nothing continues. Because we live in time, we understand that there's time and I'm before I was here and there will be a time after that. There's no one existing. That's weird because we're so convinced that and there's so much investment also in my life and I'm doing here and this is what's happened before and this is happening to me, the circumstances, and maybe there was a past that happened to me and now I'm really struggling to get out of that or to work with what's going on or to survive. There's no one. So that what's happening is happening by itself. There's no one existing. It's hand or maybe that front. There's no continuation. There's only in the story that feels like there's a continuing my life because the brain can fill in the gaps when there's not seeing the body or there's only streets. Then there's filling in the gaps where we continue. I'm always there and this is the center and it's happening to me. It's a dream. And also that idea that you can, with thoughts, you can make your life better, like free will and choice. They're thoughts. They don't have any power. That whole construct, like being busy with everything and trying to get better, trying to understand or work out what's going on, can be there. There's nothing wrong or right with that. But it's useless. It doesn't go anywhere. It's thoughting. That's it. As important as the table. So when that's going on, it can be there. Then that's what's going on. And then it changes, and then there's a table. So it changes. It's table, lamp. Well, that goes very fast, of course. You can't follow that. So you can't be in the now because that when there's in the now, there's someone in the now, and that it's complicated because there's always when there's someone, there's always a moment, and it doesn't go it's not the right way or I forgot or things like that. So it's an endless struggle to be right or to do the right thing. There is no right thing. There's also nothing wrong. There can't be something wrong. It's everything. It's everything. But there's no, it's singular. You could say more, it's singular. There's nothing extra. And what we normally do is there's a hand, and on top of that, there's that hand is going there, and because of this and all that. That's the story. That's what I call the story. There's hand, or table, or a feeling. And there are no relations between anything, because relations assume time. There's before that, before, and distance. So there's nothing before, there's nothing after. There's no inside, there's no outside. When there's no outside, then this is everything. We assume that, oh, there's a whole world going on and my work and other people and other countries. It's information about what can be there. Because we can abstract, we can understand. This is everything. It's very simple and ordinary and tiny. And it's full on. But full on doesn't mean really strong. Full on is also can be subtle and as it is. So it's complete. everything is complete as it is. A subtle feeling of sadness can be a table. It's exactly that, what's seen, heard, what's... And it's not heard by someone. There's sound. So it's singular. That's what we're not used to. There's always seemed to be someone hearing, someone seeing, someone feeling. And it seems also that there's a center. There's no center. There can be a feeling a center because there's a tension over there. Then there's tension. It's very, very, very literally what's going on. So we can talk about anything. So the story still goes on. That's also the strange thing. There's the abstracting, and the brain can still abstract, but there's no meaning in it. So they're still going on and making lists and going to the shops and everything. Talking about friends and mothers and children maybe. Or money. It's everything. But when it's this, then that hand, and there was nothing before, so hand was, and then something else. That's new. So there's no before. Everything is new. So there's only innocence. Responsibility and guilt is only in the story, because we believe there's someone and there's a free will and choice to do things. There's no free will, there's no choice, because there's no one. There's no one inside. It's what's happening. So we can talk about this, and there can be any question. Also, questions in the story can happen, can be there. There's already a question. Is talking just an empty sound with no direction or connection to anything? Yeah, you could say that. It's sound, and it's in the everything is empty, and it's full together. So it's empty, and it's full together. It's sound like that. It doesn't go anywhere. That doesn't mean anything. It's not because of anything. Everything is singular. But talking is singular. So even that, what's being said here, there's no truth, of course. There isn't a truth. There's what's happening. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It's full on. It's complete as it is. When there's no distance, there's no other thing. Something like that. It's one thing talking to another body. No, there's talking. Sound, you could say. Also in these meetings, there can be not understanding the English or not understanding what's being said. It doesn't matter. That's strange, because we normally think that's really important to understand and to do something with that. This is energetic, you could say. It's underneath what's going on. It's an energy. It's there's nothing going on. There's no sound. There are no answers on any question. There can be a talking, and maybe there's something saying about something, a question there. But it doesn't go anywhere. There's no advice, no leading or anything, no knowing about what's going on. There's not talking to someone. There's talking. This is already complete, so there's no need for understanding this. There's no need, because it's already complete as it is. You can't escape from what's going on. It's already everything. When it's everything, it's a normal everything. Then it's everything. But there can be that idea and that belief that this, or that feeling, this isn't enough. There's something not satisfying. There's something going on. Maybe there's an understanding and saying to yourself, yeah, but this is complete. But that when there's a saying to yourself, this is complete, there's something going on. There's a need to say that. When everything is lost, there's nothing arising, nothing busy with anything, you could say. It's just what's happening. Full on, and there's no escape, of course. Because the me is, you could say, the me is an escape mechanism and a survival to move away from pain and try to feel happy and thinking like that's the best way to survive in this world and with other people. There are no other individuals. There's no world. There's what's happening. It's that simple. It's so simple. Maybe too simple sometimes. It's very literally. Like little children. It's like that. And it can be any question. There can be also starting talking and you don't even know exactly what you want to say and all that. It doesn't matter. It's that already. So there's talking and we'll see what will go on, what happens. There can't be something wrong. It's never wrong. Of course not. There's no right and wrong. It's what it is.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, hi.
Hi. I just wonder, did it happen to Rose to have a more contemplative view on what happens? Contemplative, contemplate.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the word, but I can't even. What is contemplate?
uh, admire, admire,
Oh, yeah.
or like surprise, not surprise. Um,
Oh,
many other
mm,
people
mm,
I listen to,
mm.
when they start talking, they start with a 5 minutes meditation. Like if you had to reconnect with
Oh,
something bigger. And
ah,
I don't understand why.
no,
If
I don't
if
too.
it if you
Because
if
yeah,
everything is just what it is, it's just
yeah,
what it is. Why do you have?
yeah,
Why do you need to have a more?
mm,
I don't know,
yeah. I
five
understand.
minutes more,
Mm,
yeah, more sacrated, I don't know, more
yeah,
contemplative, more
yeah.
yeah, I just wonder, yeah,
I
I
don't
just ask
understand
you this.
too.
Mm,
It's about
mm,
there's two. It's something someone does because there's a feeling it needs to connect with something bigger. There's not something bigger. That's the idea of there's I'm here and there's something bigger and we need to do something because it's not I am not complete yet or something like that. It's the same story again. I can't no, there's no need to connect or anything. There's no need for anything, of course. It's already complete as it is. So there can be meditation just like that, not for a reason. No. So there's no need for meditation. There's no need for anything. It's exactly how it's going. The way that the speaking happens, the sitting, the table, it's everything as it is. So what is there to do to something? No, can't be like that.
But did it happen to Rose to have more admi- uh, admiring
Mm.
way of behave? Admiring, I don't know,
Mm.
understand?
No.
Like,
The,
perhaps, but more admiring. Like if you like or what's happening.
no, it's not liking what's happening because that's two already.
Eh,
There's so it's not there. Rose is
yeah.
not important.
Mm,
There
mm,
is no Rose. That we
mm,
assume that there's Rose and the life of Rose, and it continues. There's some individual. It's a construct. It's an idea, dream of that there's someone, and they're seeing and confirming this body is here and it's always here, and not the whole story. And it's not. There's no Rose. So there can be behavior, but there's no one looking at it. What's lost too is that what we normally do, like there's looking at yourself and being busy with what's going on or what you said or all that. And that's gone because that's part of the dream of me, that there's someone looking at yourself, there's two, and then trying to work that out or all that. That's gone. So I don't know what the behaving is. There can be seeing that they're shouting, yeah, but there's nothing going on about is that it's already forgotten when there's something else going on. So there's nothing busy with something else and not knowing what's going on. So there's also not knowing about what the behavior is, and there was something before, like before that moment, and something now. I don't even know. I don't care also, but I don't know if there was. No, I don't know, because that's there. What's so obvious is that there is no Rose, so it's completely meaningless to think about what. No, it's not even. It's because of its meaning. It's meaningless, but it doesn't arise also that the idea that there's something before, and maybe there's a memory. It's only an idea or an image about something before, but that's it. There's no being aware of what's going on.
yeah, it's clear.
And that's the funny thing. It's like little children. It's they are not aware of themselves. They just do and shout and all that, and then suddenly, after I don't think like 2 years old, something like that, they understand that, oh, this is right and this is wrong, or there's something go, and then there's going on something else. But before that, it's just no. It's not even behaving. It's just energy, and that's the same thing here. There's no one looking at herself or something like that. No. So this is not a better life. It has nothing to do with it. It's not that everything is okay, even, oh, that's also. No. It has nothing to do with being okay or liking or all that. Because that's someone doing that or feeling that. It's when it's sad, it's completely sad and maybe crying or maybe not crying, but sadness is full on. And then after a while, it's gone and there's something else. Not knowing why. Sometimes there's an idea, but Doesn't matter if it's because of that or because of something else. I don't even know. A lot of times I don't even know why it's going like that. It's feeling like that. But it doesn't matter. That feeling is there, can be there. So in that way, there's no change. Maybe there can be saying like there's a relaxation because there's nothing going on, like trying to do the right thing. Yeah. But even that is a story. Yeah. That's the joy. There's no one looking at yourself, because that's the curse of that. There's always something. When there's a looking at yourself, there's always finding something. Oh God, I did that again. Oh, why do I do this all the time? And oh God, that's going on. It's just happening like that, sitting, or I don't know. It doesn't matter what's being done. It doesn't matter. It's not about Rose having a life in a certain way. No, it's what's happening. So that's the freedom. There's no one. That's what we say. It's like God or the parents. There's always someone looking and think this is right, this is wrong. God, that's the freedom. But you can't do that. It's about loss. It's about not it's not that. And normally what a lot of times in the story you could say it's about that whole idea about this is right and wrong can be not that strong anymore. That belief about what should be and all that can be not that strong anymore. So that's a lot of times how it's going in the story. You can't do loss. We want some advancing or result or something. No me anymore. There's already no me, so there's nowhere to go. But then there's like, oh, but then it's this. This is how it's going. That's everything. Yeah, that's it. So there's no escape from that, and that's what normally is going on. We don't like what's going on. We want something else about some things. So we're looking for some meetings or people who have found something that seems like that. And then because there's something going on, this can't be it. Yeah, it is it. There's no escape. So it seems like, oh, I want that freedom. I want that, oh, no problems anymore. No, but it's everything. Oh, but I don't want everything. I don't want that and that, oh, that feeling like, or angry or that's it too, of course. Mm.
It is a freedom, but it is sort of a helpless freedom.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, it's a helpless freedom. I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. And freedom is not a feeling. That's what maybe there's some confusion sometimes about freedom. That feeling free, that certain feeling of free and no stress in the body or things like that. That's not what I mean. Freedom is that's everything. So there's nothing better than something else. It's everything. So there's no choice. Strange enough, that's freedom. In a way, that's full on, everything is full on already. When there's no fight against anything or not wanting something else, then suddenly it's like, oh, of course it's what it is. And then suddenly there's that joy or something else. That life is that. life is aliveness. Look at really little children. You see it like, and it's everything. It's crying and pain and all that. But there's something else going on. And that's life. And when there's that idea of I should work in this and I should do something and I'm here and all that, then all the focus is on that, working on yourself or busy with what's going on. Underneath that, life is, of course, it's with that, but life is going on. There's no difference. But there's on top of that, there's a whole dream about what you should and shouldn't. Doesn't have any power, but it seems like it's your life. I thought, this is my life, I do everything. And then somebody said, no, it's useless. Oh my God. I was busy with that all day. How to deal with this, how to feel, how to, whoa. Oh, is it not my life? Oh, what? Yeah. Thank you, Rose. Is a higher aspect, the divine, God, unconditional love, present always? And if yes, how can a human body be in it without disintegrating and explode? There's nothing higher or divine. I don't know. I wouldn't call it divine because it seems like something special and something different than what most people have or something like that. The body isn't real. So that's strange already because what I what I remember is that I could see that nothing was real, like the walling and there was energy going on. But the body, that I was never questioning that if the body couldn't be not real, because that was my life and I was busy with that and everything was in that way solid for me. And then suddenly there was a moment that the body wasn't there. I didn't see it, I didn't feel it wasn't there. So there was a big shock that the body isn't real too. So there's how to deal with something that isn't real. You can't, and there's no one. So that's everything is out of your hands, you could say in a way. So there's nothing divine or God or higher. This is not about disintegrating. It's about you could say there's a misunderstanding that there's something missing, there's something not right yet, and we maybe one day we will reach that moment. That's a misunderstanding. Can be very strong. But it doesn't matter because that what's happening is already going on. So there's nothing missing. You can't miss something. But there can be an idea because we have an idea about it should be like that. And when that's not going on, it seems like there's something missing. It's what it is. But the idea about it should be something else gives the feeling there's something missing. So it's the construct, and that can disintegrate, not the body, but that whole ideas and beliefs and constructs about what's going on and me and what I should and shouldn't. And that's in this kind of meeting, there can be also, there's no answer. There's nothing going on about what to do with this and all that. So it's not seeing someone. So it's not addressed. So when there's no focus on that whole idea about what I am and all that, then that it needs confirming. So it's can fall apart or no, not be that strong anymore. That's the energetic part that goes on, and it maybe it's not even noticed. Also, that doesn't matter. And then after a while, there's something not there anymore. Some beliefs are not that strong anymore, or not. Maybe they fall away without noticing, and then somebody says something, and you say like, "Oh, I was always busy with that, but oh, I forgot because it wasn't happening anymore. So that issue isn't apparent. So that can happen like that. That's normally with loss that you forget it was there. So this is not a new knowing or a new something. It's the loss of all those beliefs and concepts. And then suddenly it's like, oh, it's everything, and it's hand. It's not about Roes or somebody else. There is no Roes. There is no Roes or another individual. No, there never was. But that idea is so strong, or belief, so embodied in the story, you could say that. It's not about higher or lower or anything. It's what it is. A sensation somewhere. That's it. So it's already. You can't miss it. It's a huge thing when there's someone about control, and a lot of people know about control. There's no need for control and all that. But that suddenly, that something in your hand, that wanting to be clear or knowing or feeling and understanding that there's no one, maybe that suddenly, or there's wanting to deal with what's going on, it can be so strong, and it doesn't feel like there's controlling, of course, because that's already seen like control. That's not the case. There's no control. But suddenly there can be that idea of having something, and then like clarity is having something. So in the same way, it's a kind of control, you could say, and an escape from what is. Because there's no knowing, there's no clarity. There can be clarity, but it's of no use at all. It's what it is already. So there's a cup of tea. What is there to know? That's what you said, a timeless wonder. It's like, it's that. It's already. So it's tea, it's water, it's not about me, like, oh, it's this feeling, it's okay, or no, it's also the table. There's no difference in that. There's a difference, but not in importance. Nothing is more important than anything else. There can be that face and Rose talking, or the table. Yeah, it's that. So the table is unconditional love, like talking, like sound. It's unconditional love. Everything is unconditional love. But unconditional love is not nice. It has nothing to do with personal love. It's everything. That's life. It's everything. Full on. Subtle, strong. Like, there's nowhere to go, because somewhere else you could say that it's that too. So it's already everything. And so it's nothing to do with right and wrong. That's the construct. It's what it is. That's it.
They're so direct, but as an individual, it just automatically there is a subject,
Mm-hmm.
like for example, the sensation, right?
Yeah, it seems like a
Sensing,
subject.
seeing,
Yeah.
like I just feel like automatically I feel I see,
Mm.
I hear.
Mm.
Yeah, I know this is very direct, just seeing, hearing,
Yeah.
hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I just there's still a sort of like a control wanting to know what that feels like,
Ah.
what the seeing direct
Ah.
feels like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure it is already like that, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's
um
already. I can't explain. No, I don't know. It's just that.
yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just, but it's so quick that there's something.
Mm.
I feel that on top of that, it's
Mm.
just it's so quick, and then suddenly
And
it can be here, like, oh, it's feeling, oh, it's that, yeah, yeah. What you
yeah,
say?
it's so automatic.
Mm.
It's hopeless. I cannot help. I cannot help
No, no. But
to.
you don't need to, because that when that's going on, it's what's going on. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's the story again. Like, oh shit,
Mm.
that's still, or not shit, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Shit.
it's that, yeah. It's still that. Oh, it's still. Why can't I stop that, or something like that? No, that's on top of. That's also what's happening. Well, that,
Mm.
yeah, and then suddenly it's like, oh, it's everything, and yeah. So it's,
Mm.
you can't get out of it. Well, the strange thing is, you can't get out of that idea of, oh, I still do that, because you're not
Mm.
in it. That's also a strange one. We
Mm.
think we do something wrong or something too much or things like that. No, you don't, because there's no one. You can't.
Mm. Right, right. It's not even me doing it. It's just.
No. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm, you're right. Even more hopeless.
Yeah, it's even more hopeless. Yeah, yeah. Oh my, wow, what is
I
this?
thought
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought I
yeah,
did something wrong, but no,
yeah,
it's no
yeah.
use.
Even that is not wrong. Whoa, what's that?
I
Wow,
know,
wow.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's, wow. Yeah, that's it. Wow. And it can be so overwhelming when there's suddenly it's like, oh, it's everything. It's that too. It's that too. About, wow, that it's stunning. It's so, wow. So that, and then suddenly there's that contraction again, but that's energetic, because you could say sometimes the body can't take that, so it's just energetic. It's going in that, like it's in the that what was before, like doing things and I'm here and all that. So when that suddenly that freedom of there's nothing, and it's everything, and then suddenly that contraction can happen, or that feeling I'm back again. It's not that there's something wrong, it's energetic. So that can happen too. But that's also what's happening. There's nothing gone wrong in that way. There's a chat. When the sense of separation apparently dropped, everything was suddenly so innocent, and I have no more words for it. Yeah, everything is so innocent. How can you say that? Yeah, because words make it already some different. Yeah, yeah. hmm And that's also what can be thought about this, that there's all the time there's a feeling of an idea or a thought about, oh, this is so innocent, that all the time it's there. There can be suddenly that in that moment it can be suddenly like that, and then that's not apparent so much anymore, and that's just living. There's no idea about this is innocent or this is so unconditional love, or no, it's just normal living. And that you get used to it too. It's so normal. There's nothing going on, being busy trying to change it or trying to work it out or all that. Those thoughts don't arise. Well, it's forgotten. That was the whole time the case. It's just forgotten. And it's very normal, so it doesn't seem a big deal. It's very normal, simple. Not something special or something like that. We were having dinner after a meeting with some people, and then somebody said, "Yeah, if I didn't know Rose was giving meetings, it was just a normal meeting with friends and everything. Well, that's it." Yeah, yeah. This meetings is the same. There's not someone who knows or who has something. No, it's not like that. And that's crazy, because normally when there's someone having a meeting or things like that, it seems like somebody has something, I want to have that too, or something has lost something, I want, how did you do, or what's happening and all that. And then hearing there's no difference. Whoa, it's the same. It's not higher or special, or it's the same normal. Maybe there's an idea that is lost, that there's something wrong or not yet there. That's it. Mm. And the idea that, or the belief somewhere that there's someone. Maybe there can be an idea, no, there's no one. That can be very, very clear. And there still can, I hear that in some people talking, and then it's suddenly there seems to be a free will, or to do something, to share something. There's no free will. How can you say you want to, you can share this? I don't know. I can't. There can be that happening, but there's no one, so there's no choice. So there can't be something special. How is that possible? Ah, I saw a fishing heron in my garden, and for a short moment there was only birding. Wow, yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. well, that it's a lot of times in the day, and then suddenly it's so obvious. Yeah, it can be like, yeah, amazing. Yeah. And then suddenly it's also obvious, like, oh, it's not like, oh, there's seeing, oh, what normally when you hear something and you can't imagine what that is, you think like, yes, sitting. What is sitting? Only sitting. What is that? Like, oh, that seems boring. And then suddenly it's like birding. It's like, oh, wow, this, oh, ah, yeah. Mm. It's the same with sitting. It's suddenly that sensation. It's sitting, walling, handling, a sensation. Wow, it's that. Stunning. Mm. And then when it's first, like, it's like, wow. And then after a while, it's like, not all the time that wow, because that's too much. It's just, in a way, you could say you get used to it. And it's just a subtle wow. Yeah, I heard someone saying, it's a subtle wow. Yeah, it's like that.
The one expecting the subtle wow word is the veil of this.
The expecting. Yeah.
Mm.
And not seeing or not as it has to be different as what it is, because then we assume like, oh, they're sitting, oh, I'm trying to focus on that sitting to feel that wow. Things like that. I did that. Yeah. It's again that same trying. Oh, you can't do this. That's the awful thing in that way, because we are so used to doing and trying. It's
It is
the
so awful.
it's that awful. Yeah. Oh God.
Jeez.
It's awful for the me, you could say. That me, that construct that always is trying to fix and to heal and to hear. There's no power in that. It's not fixing. There's no need for fixing. So that me, that survival system, that seems like the most important help of you, that you live your life in a way that helps you, like that me, and then suddenly it's not seen as a help, and then and it's trying to get everything out of the air to take you and to have you again in that trying, or to try to fix it in the sense of trying to feel that sitting or all that, because there's always trying and doing and all that, and then suddenly there's a moment like, oh, it's something else, and that's then suddenly that whole construct is a bit scrambling down, because it's seen like, oh God, or suddenly it's obvious that it's confirming that there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong. Can't be. Oh, and there's so much investment in that me and my life and how to deal with things and what can I do and all that. When I don't do anything, everything goes wrong. Oh, there's so many ideas.
Hey, Rose.
Yeah, hi.
So have you experienced, no, not you experienced, but when other people talk to you and you hear what they say, but you can hardly put the words into meaning. It's sort of, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that can
Mm-hmm.
happen.
You
Yeah,
can. Okay.
yeah. Even if it's in the same if it's not in the same language, it's easier. But if it's in the same language, and there can be suddenly there can be someone talking, and there's no understanding at all. It's like, what are you saying? It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's scary.
Oh, so maybe there's something wrong with your head.
I
No,
know.
no. Mm. Can be. You never know. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm. In a way, sometimes I can feel, but it's just a story, that there's when somebody is talking, there's something going on, like a subtle, yeah, I don't know, energy to understand. And when that's not there, it's like you could say a relaxation, but it's not really, but not trying or something. And it's just hearing what's going on, and there's nothing trying to understand. So that's sometimes it's when there's being in a meeting and I don't care about what's being said and all that. It's just listening, and then it's fun that it's just words and they don't mean anything. It's just like that. It goes in and out again without anything. And sometimes they're suddenly like, oh, and there's understanding, and can be subtle like that. But it's just a story. We're so focused on the content of what some people are saying. And there's so much more. Underneath, there's so much happening. And the response is not only about what's being said, there's something else. It's just a whole. It's not only about the content. There's so much, the tone and everything is going on. Yeah. There's a
Yeah, a lot
sharing.
of times, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go on.
Yeah, there's a sharing, not only with the words, but there can be a tension, and there can be the tone of the voice. And there's so much information in that way. So it's not only, we are so focused on the seeing and the words. Well, there's so much more going on. That's what I want to say. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go on.
Yeah, I was just saying like a lot a lot of time people just talk nonsense anyway.
You don't. Yeah, we do too.
I do too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, of
exactly.
course. Of
So
course.
yeah, that people, including myself, yeah, of
Yeah, it
course.
doesn't. Yeah, so what? Sometimes
It's
it's
just
just lying and just nonsense, and
it's
so what?
all it's all like it's the brainwashed ideas, concept. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
doesn't
energetic,
mean
so it's
anything.
just comes
It's
out. It just comes out, and then that's what's going on.
mm,
But we
yeah.
think it has a lot of meaning, and the content is really important. Also
No, I
here,
don't think that
you,
anymore.
you don't need to
Yeah,
listen. It doesn't matter what's being said. It's more
yeah,
energetic. It's not so much.
yeah.
There can be a clarity, but yeah, so what?
Mm,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Uh, that's fun too. That it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
I
then
just feel
people
like
say, "Oh, I don't understand you." Okay, yeah, so what?
a
Or I don't agree. Oh, it can be. Yeah, of course, can be.
yeah,
So what?
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like the retrieve, like a how do you say that? Like a um, I I enjoy to be with myself, listen to these talks rather than going out with friends. You know, I just feel like I don't know
Yeah, that
what
can be, but it doesn't.
what other
Can,
people, yeah,
yeah.
what other people's. I don't want to talk with other people that much because it's just meaningless. I feel meaningless.
Yeah, but so what? There's no choice in if there's talking to other people. That can just there's no choice in I'm deciding now not to talk to other people. No, there's no choice in that too. So that can
Mm,
happen. And if you are sitting at home and there's not so much
mm,
conversation, it seems like you did choose that. It's what's happening. Then suddenly
oh,
someone is coming in or meeting you and talking about nothing.
mm,
Yeah, so what? Can be. Yeah,
mm,
doesn't go anywhere too already. So there can be that, and it can be
mm,
boring. And somebody saying like, "Oh my God, she's talking again to me. Oh my God." Yeah,
mm,
I have a can someone. It can be that somebody's talking to
mm,
you, and you feel like, "Oh God, what can I say now?" And I don't want. I
mm.
want to leave. I can have
Yeah, I
that
know.
too. It's just normal. Yeah. Not saying anything. Oh my God. And then finally, like, why didn't
Mm,
I say anything? That thought can happen and then it's gone again. But yeah,
mm,
can happen too.
mm.
Yeah.
Yes, but I feel less. I feel there's a voice in my head saying, "Is that the specialness that you gave to yourself? Like you're special. You don't want to talk to other people. You think they're boring. You think they're talking to this mundane thing. I don't know.
Don't work it out. You can try to work it out. You'll never be sure about that. They're all ideas about what you're doing. You're not
Mm,
doing that. It's what's happening.
yeah, yeah,
You're analyzing. We do that so much about yourself and everybody. And then it's always about, is there something wrong and can I do something different? No, you can't. It's not you doing that. It's what's happening. So there can't be something wrong. It's just what's happening. There's no one. There's no individual there. No you. It's what's going on. Yeah. It's not, and life is not, we are so much into what I want. No, life isn't interested in what you want. It doesn't see you. There's no you. So it's energetic. Regardless anything. We think we are so amazing as people. Like we are so busy with what I want and what I will do and what's important and all that. Life isn't interested. It's what's happening and it's completely going through it like that. And then it's not seeing you. It's just what's happening. They can be working out, but it's of it's just that doesn't go anywhere. It's not wrong, but it doesn't go anywhere. Hmm. Yeah, there can be a lot of funny stories, somebody saying. They're wonderfully meaningless. Yeah. And sometimes it's really interesting, somebody speaking and there's a very lively conversation and it can be all kind of ways. Yeah. Not seeing that it's all that's what normally what maybe can be the misunderstanding, that when there's no one, that when that's all lost, there's a conversation, and it's not realizing or feeling it's meaningless. It's just having a conversation. It can be anything. There's nothing busy with it if it's meaningless or not, or it's just normal. Can be boring, can be oh, like that. It's different. Can be different. It's just normal. But that idea that it should be like this, or that's better, or that's lost, or it's not arising, you could say. That's the joy also. It's the joy, it's the freedom of everything. So there's no behaving. Yeah, there's nothing going on. Maybe it should be more like this. Oh, that's awful. Or maybe I should that's the freedom. There's nothing busy with how to behave or what should be done or all that. It's just lost. That's the freedom. Whoa. Not realizing if it's right or wrong. It's all that. It's just that. There's nothing busy with it. That's the freedom. But it doesn't mean that the behaving is now in a certain way. No. No. There's a chat. Could it be said that life has no meaning, but stories has apparent meaning? Yeah, and yeah. In the story, there's always meaning and purpose and going to. Yeah, yeah, I think so. And it also can be in the story. I want that. I want rather this than that, or something like that. But in the same time, it's empty. So yeah, can be wanting something, of course. Well, that's it. Can be a preference.
So when you say it's also empty at the same time, what does that mean?
What I can say about it is when there's me, when there's wanting something, it's important for me that it's going that way. So there can be some extra energy or some meaning in it, or it's an importance. So there's something extra on it. And when there's no one, when that everything is lost, then there's no importance if it's being fulfilled or not. So it's empty. It does. You can hear it sometimes. Like an example, you can say something, and then it's in the voice. It's heard that there's nothing going on. Like really, it's important, but it's just saying it. It's only saying it. I want it. Well, it's difficult to explain it, but there's nothing in it like that. So I think a lot of times it can be also in the story people that it's just saying something about somebody, and it's not it's empty. There's nothing really going on. That so it's more in about wanting something. It can be really wanting coffee, but in the same time, I don't care. It's empty. Something like that. It doesn't mean also that when it's not there, the coffee, for example, it can be like, oh, yeah, but it's also empty. Yeah, everything is empty. There's no drive. There's no one to take care of. There's no one who needs really something. Maybe it's that. You could say that. So the importance is gone. But there still can be wanting. Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, it's free. You could also say it's free. So then the funny thing is, then the wanting it's more can be more full on, because I can be like that. Oh, you should not want so much and all that. So you should take care of other people. So all that and all that's around it. So it's not full on that wanting, but it's like there's something in it, and in that way it's not empty. And then suddenly there's nothing going on, and it's just wanting, and then I like, yeah, don't you have coffee? Oh my God. I don't know, something like that. It's just full on, but there's nothing in it. And there's maybe a laughing about it also. Something like that. It's free. There's somebody asking, what's the character Roes, a spiritual seeker, or did you just come across this message out of the blue? Oh no, I was a spiritual seeker for a long, long time. Always busy with this, busy with myself, with the world, with what I feel. Yeah, that was from a young age, I was already a spiritual seeker. Always busy with life, what's going on, and myself, and all that. Yeah.
So this localized contraction is also it.
It's not localized. It seems like maybe it's believed it's localized. Sorry. It's not localized. It can be a contraction, and because we feel or we believe it's in the body somewhere. Well, it's that contracted energy. Yeah, it's tension or contraction. Yeah, of course. Yeah, can happen. Yeah, too. Yeah, of course. It's everything. It's just a contracted energy. Just contraction. Yeah, can happen. Another chat. If there's an apparent struggling in a correct character's story that is also just empty and without meaning, there's no choice and no one, but sometimes there are thoughts to say something that could apparently help. That can happen. Everything is empty, but when there's me, it seems like it's important. So it's everything is around me. If it's that's the me is the center. So everything is happening to me. And when there's somebody asking for help, there can be something that there's a need to do that. So there's some extra because me is trying to fix what's being wrong. There's nothing wrong. So, but there can be saying to someone, so maybe you take a pill or an aspirin. Maybe you can do that. But yeah, so what? But there's nothing wrong with anything. But there can be what me does in me, that whole me construct. It's in the end always about me. So trying to help is in the end about me because that's feeling better about when you help somebody or something like that can happen. There's always something in it for me when there's something going on. A need, there's a need or a taking care. It's all that is part of me. When that's lost, then there's a freedom, and there can be saying something to people, and but it's free. So there can be saying something, and it's just free and doesn't matter. But when there's me, most of the time it's not that free, as there's something extra with it, a need to help. It doesn't have any meaning, but when there's me, it seems it's very much believed that it has meaning and it's important and all that. So it gives some extra energy, and that's, of course, it's empty, but in the same time it's that extra energy, of course, wanting to feel good about yourself to help other people, maybe something like that. It does give a good feeling. There can be anything. It's not only about that, but when there's me involved, then it's going like that, and in the end it's coming back to me. Doesn't need to be always like that, but yeah. I guess apparently caring happens out of freedom and without reading. There can be taking care, but just like that, without anything. It's just without reason, without need or anything. That's the freedom. That's when there's no one and there's taking care happen. That's the freedom. When there's someone and taking care happens, there can be subtly that need going on. Yeah. It's not wrong. It's what's happening.
So Rose doesn't have the sense of center, this centerness.
No. No. It's a belief that there's a sense. There can be a sensation somewhere and feeling of, and that idea is like, oh, that's the center. But no, there's that sensation. That's it. So it's lost. It's not that it's sure that there's no center. Where is the center? I don't know where you think the center could be. I don't know. There's no, I don't see a center. It's more like that. I don't see someone else too. But normally it's just very normal. It's because normally we are sure that there's someone inside that. It's so embodied, it's so that. And that's lost. So it's not that I'm sure that there's no one. No. It's lost that I'm sure that there's someone. So I wanted to say maybe there's a possibility to donate something about for the meetings. We pay for the Zoom, so if that's possible, that would be kind. And then I want to thank you. It's just loving to talk about this, and there's that openness, and I love that. So thank you for coming to these meetings, and just
Thank you, Rose.
thank you. Just like that. Mm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.